All right, now that you're signed up as a teacher in Google Classroom, it's time to get started by setting up classes. So here's what we're going to do. You'll notice that I'm already in my Google Classroom account. Again, to get there, it's classroom.google.com. And you'll notice that I'm already signed in with my School District of Waukesha account. Now I need to get started with creating new classes. I'm going to start by clicking on the plus button here. Now, I've got two options. I can join a class or I can create a class. In this case, we're going to create a class as the teacher, but if the student would join that class. So I'm going to click Create Class. And then I'm going to give that class a name. English 10 and section or hour 1. And then click Create. It'll take a few moments for it to actually go through the process of creating, but once it does, you'll be all set and ready to go. And it's really just that easy to create a class. Now, how do I create more classes? I click on the 3 bars over here, and then I can click the plus button to create class. Let's do hour 2 of that same section. One of the questions we do get about Google Classroom is whether we should create a section for or a Google Classroom for each of the sections that we teach. Obviously, if we teach different subjects, we should certainly create a different classroom for each. But depending on your teaching load, you may be better to just have 1 or 2 Google classes per section that you teach or per subject that you teach, or you may be better to have one for each of the classes and each of the hours that you teach. Remember, students are going to enroll in this class, and so if you want to have a conversation with your English 10 students in hour 1, and you want to be able to determine who had a conversation in hour 1 and which students were interacting, and also determine which students in hour 2 were interacting, but you don't want them to cross-interact, then you'll want to have a class for each of those sections. So I'm going to go ahead and create my second English 10 hour 2. As always, if creating a Google class is a little bit difficult for you or you have specific questions about the best way to set it up, always feel free to contact one of the Instructional Technology Coordinator team members. We'll be happy to talk you through it and give you some of the best options that might work for you. Again, I'm going to jump back to our classes, and then I can create more classes as I need to from that point forward. So that's how we go about creating classes in Google Classroom.